Section 5.4 is about finding linear equations. We already know that the equation of a line could be written in the form y equals mx plus b. This is called slope-intercept form. To be able to write something in this form, we need to know the slope and the y-intercept, the two numbers that are going to appear in our equation. Step 1 is find the slope and substitute the slope into the equation. Then you're going to take your ordered pair and plug it in for x and y and solve for b. And finally plug b into the equation so that you have both parts of the equation. Let's take a look at an example. We know that y is equal to mx plus b. And our ordered pair is 2, negative 7, so the y value is negative 7. The m value is negative 3, and the x value is 2. Let's go ahead and solve for the b value. So negative 7 equals negative 3 times 2 is negative 6 plus b. And if you add 6 to both sides of the equation, you'll get that negative 1 is equal to b. For my final answer, I want to make sure I write the equation in the correct form. The correct form is y equals m, which is negative 3, x plus b, which is negative 1. I was given one of the pieces that I needed, this slope. I had to find the other piece that I needed, the y-intercept, put them together to write the equation of my line. In the next one, m is going to be 0, and it's going to contain the point negative 11, negative 3. So the y value is negative 3 equals m, which is 0, times the x value, negative 11, plus b. So negative 3 is equal to 0 plus b, or b. And my equation is y equals 0x plus b, b being negative 3. But this isn't simplified. You wouldn't write 0x. You would write instead y equals negative 3. Notice that this is the equation of a horizontal line. A horizontal line will not have any x value because the value of x is multiplied by 0, the slope. If I had known that it was horizontal to begin with, maybe just from realizing that the slope is 0, I knew that the equation was going to turn out to be y equals 3 because I knew it was a horizontal line. Let's look at a few more examples. In the next one, the slope is 2 and the ordered pair is 3, 8. So I'm going to have 8 equals 2 times 3m times x plus b. And we want to simplify and solve for b. So I have 8 equals 6 plus b. Subtract 6 from both sides. Gives us 2 equals b. So this equation is y equals 2x plus 2. 2 is the slope, and 2 is also the y-intercept. In part D here, our y value is 4. So 4 is going to be equal to m, 2/5, times x, which is negative 3, plus b. We need to solve for b. Let's simplify. 4 is equal to 2/5 times negative 3 is negative 6/5, plus b. And the opposite of a negative 6/5 is to add 6/5. So we're going to add 6/5 to both sides. So b is 4 plus 6/5. Note that 4 is the same thing as 20/5, since 4 is 4 over 1. So 20/5 plus 6/5 is 26/5. Therefore, the equation here is y equals 2/5, that's our m, times x, plus 26/5, which is our b. Let's look at the next page. My goal on the next page is to do the same thing. Write the equation of a line that contains the two given points. The slope is not given to us as the m value, but instead I have 2 points, so I can find the slope by using the equation for slope. The slope is going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So in this case it comes out to be 1 over negative 3, or negative 1/3. And we're going to use that slope with one of our ordered pairs to write the equation. It doesn't matter which ordered pair. You could check either one. You will get the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and use the ordered pair 1, 3. If you use the ordered pair negative 2, 4, you will have the exact same equation once you finish simplifying. So my y value is going to be 3. 3 is equal to the slope times the x value, so negative 1/3 times 1 plus b. And let's simplify and solve. I've got 3 equals negative 1/3 plus b. We're going to have to add 1/3 to both sides. So my b value is going to be equal to 3 plus 1/3. 3 is 3 over 1, so 3 is 9/3. And if you add 9/3 to 1/3, you get 10/3. So the equation of our line is negative 1/3 x, negative 1/3 is our slope, plus 10/3 is our b value. Don't forget to put these two pieces together. Once we find m and b, we're not done. What our goal is here is to write the equation of the line, so we need to put those two pieces together in the right format. Let's try another one in part b. We're going to find the slope. So again, the slope is found by taking y2 minus y1, so 8 minus 2, over x2, negative 5, minus x1, negative 5. So I get 6 over 0 right here, which is undefined. I can't plug a value like undefined into an equation, but what undefined triggers is that undefined means that the line is going to be a vertical line. And if it's a vertical line, the equation is x equals the x coordinate. Notice how your two x coordinates are the same number. X is equal to negative 5 is the equation of this vertical line. Let's look in part C. Let's find the slope. The slope starts off with negative 6 minus 4, y2 minus y1, over 2 minus negative 3. So I've got negative 10 divided by 5, or negative 2. And I can choose either ordered pair. I'll go with the first one again. So I have 4 equals negative 2 times the x value, negative 3, plus b. So I have 4 equals 6 plus b. And if I subtract 6 from both sides, we're going to get negative 2 for our b value. So the equation here is negative 2x minus 2. Part D, find the slope. The slope is negative 7 minus negative 2 over negative 3 minus negative 6. So on the top, negative 7 minus negative 2 is negative 5. Over on the bottom, negative 3 minus negative 6 is 3, so the slope is negative 5/3. Plug in either ordered pair. So I'm going to plug in negative 2 for y equals negative 5/3 times negative 6 plus b. So negative 2 equals, okay, I got two negatives, this is positive. 3 goes into 6 twice, 2 times 5 is 10. So negative 5/3 times negative 6 is 10 plus b. And we'll subtract 10 from both sides. So I have negative 12 equals b. My equation then is y equals negative 5/3 x minus 12. All right, one more down here. Find an approximate equation of the line that contains the points listed. I'm going to run to 2 decimal places. So I need to find the slope first. So I'm going to start with negative 1.39 minus 8.11 divided by 2.67 minus negative 3.25. Grab a calculator and let's go ahead and figure out what those values are. Subtract the numerator and subtract the denominator. If I subtract the 2 on the top, I get negative 9.5, and on the bottom 5.92, and we'll divide those to get our approximate slope. So the division comes out to be negative 1.604. So if we round it to 2 decimal places, it's going to be negative 1.60. Now that I have the slope, I want the intercept. Take either one of your ordered pairs. So I'm going to take the first one. Negative 8.11 is the y value. The slope, we're going to use negative 1.6 or negative 1.60 times the x value of negative 3.25 plus b. Let's multiply those numbers together. 8.11, if I multiply negative 1.16 and negative 3.25, so we're equal to about 5.2 plus b, and we'll subtract 5.2 from both sides. 8.11 minus 5.2 is 2.91 equals b. So our equation is y equals negative 1.60x, or just negative 1.6x, plus 2.91. Let's check out the next page. In example 4, I want to find the equation of the line that contains given points. Before doing anything, I want to be careful to observe that the x values are the same, and I can jump right to the conclusion that this line is therefore vertical, and the equation is x equals 4. In part B, I don't have any repeated values, so I'm not in a vertical or horizontal situation, so we'll actually go ahead and calculate that slope. So the slope is going to be negative 2 minus 2 over 3 minus negative 5. So I've got negative 4 over 8, or negative 1/2. Choose either ordered pair. This time I'll choose the second one, just for difference. Negative 2 equals negative 1/2 times 3 plus b. Negative 2 equals 3 times negative 1/2 is negative 3/2 plus b. Then you're going to want to add your 3/2 to both sides. We know that negative 2 over 1 is the same thing as negative 4 over 2. So you're taking negative 4 over 2 plus 3 over 2, you're going to end up with negative 1 over 2 equals b. So the equation of this line is y equals negative 1/2 x minus 1/2. In example 6, we want to find the equation of the line drawn. If the line is already drawn, we can see the slope by counting rise over run. So this line goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over a run of 2. So I can read from the graph that the slope is negative 5/2. If the y-intercept appeared on the graph, I could also read that off, but right now it's not appearing, so I'm going to need to pick a different ordered pair and use it to find b. So let's just go ahead and choose this ordered pair. The coordinates for this ordered pair are 4, 4. So when I plug 4 in for y, I'm going to get 4 equals negative 5/2 times 4 plus b. So 4 equals negative 5/2 times 4 is negative 10, because 2 goes into 4 twice, and 5 times 2 is 10. Now add your 10 to both sides. Our b value is 14. That makes the equation y equals negative 5/2 x plus 14. Note that I could also write this in function notation. If I wrote this in function notation, it would be just f of x equals negative 5/2 x plus 14. The next section is going to ask us to write more of our equations in function notation, so we're kind of looking ahead at that. Next page. Recall that two lines are parallel if their slopes are the same, and two lines are perpendicular if their slopes are opposite reciprocals. So in example 5, I want to write the equation of a line that is perpendicular to y equals 1/6 x plus 4. So the slope of this line, since it is solved for y, is 1/6, and that means that my perpendicular slope is going to be opposite, so negative, reciprocal, so 6 over 1. Okay, so I use the slope I'm given to find the slope of the new line. Then we're going to use our ordered pair to find the y-intercept. So 2 equals negative 6 times the x value, negative 3, plus b. 2 equals 18 plus b. And you subtract 18 from both sides. We get negative 16 equals b. So the equation is y equals negative 6x minus 16. That equation is going to be perpendicular to the one that we were given. In example 6, I want to write the equation of a line that is parallel to a given line. So my first step is to find the slope with that line that we're given. Since y is not solved for, I need to do that first. So we need to subtract the 3x from both sides. So we get negative 2y equals negative 3x plus 8, divide by negative 2. So y is equal to negative 3 divided by negative 2 will be positive 3 halves x minus 4. So the slope of this line is negative 3 halves. The line we want is parallel to it, so it's also going to have slope positive 3 halves. Let's plug in our ordered pair. Negative 1 equals 3 halves times 6 plus b. So negative 1 equals, 2 goes into 6 3 times 3 is 9. So 3 halves times 6 is 9, plus b. And subtract 9 from both sides to solve for b. Negative 10 is your b value. So the new equation, the equation of the line that is parallel to the one we were given, is y equals 3 halves x minus 10. On the next page. In example 5, I want to find the equation of the following. A line parallel to x equals 2 that contains this point. So it's going to be parallel to x equals 2, same direction. That means it's also vertical. Parallel to a vertical line is another vertical line. And I know that the equation of a vertical line is going to have to do with the x coordinate. Vertical lines are going to go straight up and down through the same x value. So the equation would be x equals 5. If I want it to be perpendicular to x equals 2, this is vertical. To be perpendicular to x equals 2, I'm going to need to be horizontal. And if it's going to go through the same point, it's going to reference the y coordinate. Horizontal is going to be at the y coordinate 4, never changing from that. So the equation is going to be y equals 4. All right, and that, I think, is the end of our section.